So let's go ahead and find a comfortable seat, again, of your choice. And then when you're ready, you can close your eyes or leave them open. But just start to kind of go inward. And first, just begin to notice the feeling of the surface below you and how that correlates to your sitting bones. And just feel connection of sitting bones with surface below you. As you start to draw in, start to feel that feeling of connection. Move to the feet. Notice how the feet are placed. And then again, the surface below them, the feeling, the connection of feet to surface. And just by taking that little bit of time to notice, your breath may have already shifted into a slower pace. If not, that's perfectly fine. But then as you're ready, start to just shift your breath so that it's in and out of your nose. You may naturally fall into a rhythm where your inhale and exhale are equal. Or you may fall into a rhythm where exhale is a little longer than inhale, just needing a little bit more restoration. But try not to force anything. Just be in this moment, noticing that breath in and out of the nose. Noticing the connection of your body with the earth, whatever parts of your body touching the earth. Go to your hands. Notice if the hands are doing any clenching, just relax them at this moment. And bring awareness all the way up to the very top of the head, the crown of the head, and just let there be a relaxing, a release, letting that kind of spread over the entire face, jaw. And just from this moment, perhaps begin to set an intention for yourself. And I'm going to continue the intention that I used on Wednesday of this last week, which is simultaneously releasing and receiving that possibility of sometimes letting things go and also opening, making room for something else. If that resonates with you, you can use it. If there's something entirely different that you'd like to bring into your practice as intention, you can set that here and now. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring palms together. Let thumbs rest right at heart center, Anjali Mudra, just sealing in this intention and this awareness of being here in your body in this moment. And taking in a big full inhale, holding the breath in. And then a longer exhale, sending it out. Nice. And then when you're ready, just blink those eyes open. You can rest the hands down on the knees. And we'll just start off by gently circling the torso around. So go ahead and start to gently move the torso around. And these first few movements, just use them as a gauge. Sometimes we don't really know how our body is doing until we step onto the mat. So just gauging here, self-observation without judgment, the best that you can. It is how it is. And then reverse. As you reverse, just again, noticing the breath. And feeling perhaps the difference between circling one way and then circling the other way. Beautiful. And then coming all the way up to sit, sitting tall, taking in a big inhale. And a big exhale. Nice. And then inhale, reach arms up. And on your exhale, let's bring the left hand down and reach the right arm up and over. You can shift and move as you want here to make this a little more comfortable, but relax both the shoulders. So it's just a gentle opening for the side body. Breathe deeply. You can close eyes and just feel the breath expanding into the right side body. Just feel the ribs moving. And if you don't feel that, that's fine too. It's all good. And then let's start to circle the arm down and around. As you circle, move the arm. Notice maybe the arm becoming a little bit warmer, going down into fingertips. Nice. Good. And then let's go ahead and reverse, moving the circle in the opposite direction. And breathing as you go here. Good. And then last circle, come all the way up, back and around, sit in the center, take in an inhale and exhale. And then take your left ear towards your left shoulder. So just stay here for a second. This might be enough to just kind of access the right side of the neck. If you want a little bit more, you can start to bring the right hand down to the floor to touch, or you can even kind of levitate the hand. And then again, you can just be still and breathe here, or you can nod the head yes or nod the head no. Be very gentle. Try not to force anything. Most of all, maintain breath in and out of the nose. Good. If you've moved the head at all, find some stillness. If the hand is lifted, return it to the knee. Bring your head back up to center. Just pause and notice right shoulder versus left shoulder. Take in an inhale. And then a longer exhale. Good. And then let's circle the shoulders around. Doesn't matter which direction. Again, you'll notice maybe a difference between right and left shoulder, side of neck. Good. And then reverse, moving in the opposite direction. Excellent. Drop the shoulders down, and then we'll take that big inhale to reach and stretch up. Exhale slowly, right hand down, left arm up and over. So going on into left side, relax both the shoulders, and then just close your eyes if that's comfortable. Breathe into the left lung, left rib cage. Perhaps you notice the spreading of the ribs here as you breathe. In and out of the nose. Simply allowing. Good. And then we'll start to circle the arm down and around. So, and just observing as you move through, maybe the warmth coming down through the arm into fingertips. Going as slowly as you want or faster if you want. Just really letting this practice be yours today. Good. And then we're gonna reverse, move the circle in the opposite direction. Just breathing as you go. Very good. The last circle, come all the way up, back and around. Hands on the knees, big inhale. Longer exhale. Pause, notice left shoulder, right shoulder, a little difference there perhaps. And then when you're ready, just start to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Make sure both shoulders are heavy, relaxed. You're not hanging them up into the ears or anything. And then you can stay just like this, or if you want to bring the left hand to the floor or even levitate the left hand up a little bit, you can do that also. And then same thing you did on the other side, you can nod the head yes, or even nod the head no. Movement, no movement, doesn't matter. Excellent. Move the head at all, find some stillness. Let's bring a left hand back to knee, head back to center, pause, notice, left versus right, big inhale. Longer exhale. Good, let's circle shoulders around, either direction, doesn't matter. Nice. And then reverse, move in the opposite direction. Good. And now we're gonna go ahead and transition over to the mat. So make your way to your mat and grab any props that you might need, blocks to go under hands. If you have homemade props, you can use anything. I have these awesome giant pillows of my daughters, would make really great blocks. If you need padding up under your knees, grab a blanket, but we'll go ahead, come to table and just start to move through some cat-cow here. Or if you're called to do hip circling or anything else, feel free to do that. But we'll just start to move the spine a bit. And again, this is a nice little place to just kind of check in. Always just self-observation without judgment, because anytime that we bring in that judgment piece, we lose intention, we lose that ability to release and to receive. So just let it be what it is. Just notice. Good. And then we're going to pause, find a neutral table, and then just back your knees up a teeny little bit here. So we get a little knee down plank. Just hold for a second, engage your core, and then bend your elbows lower to your belly. We're going to do 3 little cobras here. So thumbs in line with chest, tops of feet to floor. Inhale, peel up. You don't have to go very high at all. Keep the neck long. Exhale, lower, touch the forehead down. 2 more, inhale. And let's exhale, lower down. And then last one, inhale, lift up. You don't have to go very high at all. Exhale, let's come back this time into a child's pose. So knees wide, big toes touching, or knees together, whatever works. And then forehead to the earth. And you're always welcome to, if you need, grab props to go between the thighs and the calf muscles, if that makes your child's pose a little bit easier to access. Just whatever you can do, and notice your body on the floor again, that just sensation of contact of body with earth. Come back into the breathing in and out of the nose. And then let's take a releasing breath. So big inhale, and then a longer exhale. Okay, let's inhale all the way back up to table. And then from table, we're going to reach the right leg back, flex through the right foot, keep the right hip facing down. And then optionally reach left arm forward, bicep facing ear, thumb facing ceiling. So a little core engagement. Again, left arm lifted is optional. Take in 1 more breath. Make sure you're not holding it in. And then if left hand is lifted, bring it down. Let's go ahead, step the right foot through. Okay, so right foot, left knee are about hip width apart here. Okay, and then just kind of feel into this. Make sure you're nice and stable. We'll rock in and out of the front of the left thigh a little bit. And just a word here, if maybe you didn't need padding underneath that left knee in table, but it might be helpful here in the lunge, go ahead. Don't be afraid to grab padding to just give yourself the support that you need. Okay, good. And then we're gonna find a neutral spot here, and we'll inhale, reach the arms up, relax the shoulders, and then we're gonna exhale, bring the hands back behind you, clasp the palms, okay? Reach the knuckles down, stretch your chest and heart, and then you're gonna bring the knuckles over onto right hip, okay, or towards it. So again, you can back out of this if it's starting to become too much. You can lean into it a little bit more. You can also squeeze those elbows together, really opening up chest and heart, totally up to you. So make sure you're still breathing in and out of the nose. A couple more breaths here. Make sure you pull the outer right hip back a little bit so there's not a bunch of twisting happening. Good. Nice. Let's inhale to reach the arms up. And then we're going to exhale, take the hands down to frame the right foot, back your hips up, and then straighten the right leg. This is where props can be helpful, pillows, whatever you've got there at home if you don't have yoga blocks, just to support those hands so you're not rounding the back too much. Keep the neck long. Again, relax the shoulders, the face, the jaw. You can slow the breath down a little bit here. Nice. And one more nice, long, slow exhale. And let's bend into the right knee. We're gonna bring those hands down to the floor. Back the knees up a little bit, doing that little baby knee down plank. Optional, you could just always go right to the floor or do regular plank, okay? And then bend your elbows lower. Just 1 cobra this time. So inhale, lift up, keep the neck long, don't arch the neck, and then exhale back to your child's pose. So it's a nice little place, child's pose, just to sink back into sensation, right? The body is in a position of rest, a very gentle inversion, very gentle head below heart. So notice a part of your body touching the floor and just really sink into that sensation. Maybe the texture below your palms touching the mat or tops of feet to floor. And all these just opportunities to learn how to sense the body, to be in the body, and to know it's a good place to be. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale back up to table. And when you're ready, we're going to reach that left leg back behind you, flex through left foot, keep left hip point facing down, neck is long, stay here. Or if you want to reach right arm forward, bicep facing ear, thumb facing ceiling, you can do that and just breathe here. In and out of the nose. Soft, slow, steady breath. Awesome. Good. And we're going to bring the right hand down and step that left foot through. So same thing we did on the very first side, left foot, right knee, hip width. Go ahead and just find the lunge and pat up the knee if you need to, okay? And then again, we'll kind of come forward and back, just warming it up. And you'll notice your two hip points. I even like to take my hands on my hip points sometimes just to make sure they're both facing the same direction. Good. And then find a nice neutral place and inhale, reach those arms up. Good. Relax the shoulders, face the jaw. And then we're going to bring the arms out and behind you. You can clasp the palms. You can also put the opposite thumb on top so it feels like you're holding your own hand just a little bit. Reach knuckles down. Inhale and then exhale. Knuckles onto left side waist. So again, doing what works for you. You can squeeze those elbows together or not. You can make sure the outer left hip is pulling back a little bit. Left toes aren't gripping the floor. Oh, don't overdo it. It can be easy to in these shapes. Use more strength here than anything else. Take one more breath. Good. Let's reach the arms up. Inhale. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. Back your hips up, wiggle left heel forward. And let's fold. So nice deep breaths, folding over left leg. Slow deep breaths. Good. Nice. Take a few more here. Again, check in with the shoulders, face, jaw, neck, all those areas that might be hanging on, holding on to tension. Good. And then we're going to bend into left knee. Bring hands down, walk the knees back for that little plank, or again, you can curl toes under, take a regular plank. It's just for a breath, so it doesn't really matter. And then lower to belly. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale back, child's pose. So come on down to your child's pose and rest. And breathe. Good. Simply allowing. Good. And then let's come all the way back up to table. And again, move through a little cat-cow. You can stay here, hang out in cat-cow, or if you want to go ahead at this time and move your way up and back into your first down dog of the day, go for it. And you can find some stillness in your down dog, or just like the cat-cow, you can move around, bending one knee, bending other knee. Whatever you've chosen to do, take a moment again to feel connection of the hands with the mat. Maybe even describing the texture of the mat below the hands to yourself, even if it sounds a little silly, right? Some of these things sound silly and too simple, and why would I do that? There is a method to the madness, I promise you. Good. And then from your table or your down dog, whatever you've chosen to do, you're gonna find your way to a forward fold at the very front side of your mat. So go ahead, walk your way up there, or stand up, fold, get the back of the neck nice and long here. If you feel anything happening in your low back, bend your knees or widen up those feet, okay? Soft, slow, steady breath. Good. Nice. And then let's inhale, lengthen the torso. And exhale to fold. Good. Plant your palms, bend your knees. Let's step the left foot back into a lunge from here. Now you can do what we did already, which is a low lunge. You can take the left knee down if you want to, or if you want to come all the way up here into crescent warrior, you can do that, okay? So find your lunge, left knee up or down, doesn't matter. And then we're gonna inhale, reach arms up. This time, clasp the palms, pointer finger reaches up, and then we're gonna lean out and over to the right. So a little bit more muscle engagement here to stay stable. You'll have to squeeze those legs together, pull outer right hip back, breathe. Again, lower left knee if you need to lower it down. It's all good. Just a couple more breaths here. Make sure your armpits are both facing forward. Nice. Let's inhale up. And then we're going to exhale, bring those hands down. We're going to straighten out the right leg. Step your left foot in 1 or 2 footprints for pyramid. So if your left knee was down, you'll have to curl it back under and fold over right leg, pyramid. So left toes angled about 30 degrees towards a left front corner of mat, or even more forward. And then again, if you need to grab those props there at home, please do that. I know some of you guys are still having the vision of that large pink marshmallow pet. It's a great prop. I know you want it. Keep letting your exhales linger out, lengthen the back of the neck. Relax those hands. Good. And we're gonna press into that right foot, and we'll step the left foot up to meet it, and we'll pause again in that forward fold, but take a moment to notice the right leg versus left leg. Maybe a big difference, maybe no difference. You're welcome here if you want to sway side to side. Anything that you want to do to just integrate what we did. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen torso. Exhale to fold. We're gonna go right to the other side, believe it or not. So plant the palms, bend the knees. Right foot's gonna come back to your lunge. If you wanna lower right knee down, go ahead, do that. And we're gonna inhale, bring it on up here into this lunge. So come on up. Find your lunge, right knee up or down, up to you. Wherever you feel the most stable. And then inhale, arms are gonna reach up, clasp those palms, pointer finger reaches, and lean out and over to the left. So this is called quarter crescent plus crescent warrior. Lots of crescents here going on. So shoulders, armpits both facing same direction. Try not to grip the floor with those left toes. Use the strength of those inner thighs, hugging in. Just a couple more breaths. Good. Let's inhale up. And then we're going to exhale, slowly bring those hands down. Use any props that you need to. Right knee off the floor at this time if it was lowered. Right foot steps in a couple of footprints, left leg straightens. Again, right toes 30 degrees towards the front side of the mat. And a nice fold here, pyramid pose. Relax those hands, the jaw, the face, all the things. Good. And just check in a couple other little places, the left toes, the knee, the fingers. Awesome. Good. Now let's press into left foot and we're gonna step the right foot forward and fold, relax over the legs, back of the neck long. Again, you can sway here. You can be totally still, whatever works for you. And then we're gonna inhale, lengthen torso. Exhale, fold. And plant your palms, bend your knees. We're gonna step it back to a plank. You can lower your knees right away if you want to, but keep the neck long, keep the breath full. You can stay here, breathe for a couple more breaths, or lower knees down, or go right to the belly, okay? No pressure. One more breath. Good, and then lower to your belly, however you'd like to. One back bend, inhale, lift up. Exhale, child's pose. So go ahead, settle on down into your child's pose, forehead to the earth. Nice deep breaths. Good, feeling connection of palms to the mat, tops of feet to floor. Nice deep breaths. Good. Nice and slowly, let's come back up to table. Again, you're free to move through a little cat-cow here if you want to, or if you want to go straight up and away into your down dog, you'll go ahead, curl toes under, lift hips up and back. Same thing in your down dog. You're welcome to move around, bending knees one by one. Anything you want to do here. Good. Just allow. And then slowly over the next 3 breaths or so, we're gonna find that forward fold. I'm having one of those days I could stay in down dog for like 10 minutes, but I'm not gonna put you guys through that. So find your forward fold however you need to, make your way up there. Good. And then we're gonna inhale, lengthen torso. Exhale, fold. Press into those feet. Let's inhale, stand up, reach up and stretch up. Exhale, thumbs come down to your heart. Pause, notice, allow. Good. And then we're gonna take a turn here and a big wide step out here, doing a few more warrior poses, okay? So turn your right foot to the right and I'll slightly pigeon toe in left foot. Have your right heel in line with your left arch or your left heel. Inhale, arms are gonna sweep out. Exhale, warrior 2. So you don't have to go this deeply. You're just gonna really find where you feel comfortable and where you can breathe. That's that's how you know you're in that sweet spot, if you're able to freely move the breath, because like I said, with the original intention, receiving and releasing simultaneously, there's not too much forcing, right? We're not overriding, we're not forcing. Good. One more breath. Hands to hips or waist. Let's straighten right leg, turn those toes, and then we're gonna turn left toes to the left, heel to arch or heel to heel. Inhale, arms are gonna sweep out. Exhale, warrior two. Come on down. And again, go right into noticing the breath in and out of the nose. Just allowing yourself to be here, to breathe. Good. And let's bring hands to hips or waist, straighten left leg, turn those toes, parallel outer edges of feet with outer edges of mat, and then let's circle hips around. Good, and then we'll circle, go the other way. And then we're gonna come back to center. We're gonna move to triangle. So go ahead, turn your right foot to the right, heel to arch or heel to heel. You can have your feet a little closer than you did for warrior or just the same distance. It's a matter of preference. And you'll inhale, reach arms out, and then exhale, bring those hands down. Now, if your right hand doesn't just magically float to the ground, bring it way up high, okay? You can take it to your shin, but notice how I'm bending and straightening that right knee. That's important right there. Again, that flow of energy. So no joints locking out, no gripping, no holding on. And then the opening up of the left hip, very important. Okay? So find where that's possible for you and know that there's no perfect yoga pose or shape or any of that. It's all about being in the body, sensing where you are, and reestablishing that connection, which we're taught from a very early age to lose. We are just reestablishing connection here. Good, so let's squeeze those legs together, hug in nice and tight as we inhale up slowly. Good, and we're gonna turn those right toes. We'll go right ahead and turn the left toes. So realign your feet if you need to, heel to arch or heel to heel. Big inhale, sweep arms out, and then let's exhale, find your triangle on the second side. So again, giving yourself permission to modify, make this pose yours, knowing that words like advanced and deeper just are not anything important, right? A few more breaths here. As I mentioned, we're taught, when we're children, don't be a disturbance, don't ask to go to the bathroom, don't, like just cut this connection off we have to the body in a basic way. So our practice is just a beautiful way to come home, to listen. Nice. And then let's squeeze those legs in, hug together, inhale up, hands to hips or waist. Let's turn those toes, realign, outer edges of feet, outer edges of mat, big toes in one line. We'll circle hips around. Good. And then go the other way. Let's come back to center. You can leave your feet just like they are. We're going to find a wide-legged forward fold. So hands to hips or waist. Inhale, chest, heart lifts. Exhale, come on down. Find your fold. Again, that's grab feet, ankles, or take hands to floor using your props. And just give yourself a little bit of time here. And again, make sure your knees are not locking out. You can bend and straighten them. Lots of room for long, slow exhales. Good. Now we're gonna twist in our wide-legged forward fold. So to do that, you're gonna walk your hands forward, find a nice flat back here. So again, if you wanna grab a prop to lift your hands up a little bit more, you can do that. Take your left hand to the floor and then your right thumb into your right hip crease, okay? So take a big inhale, lengthen your torso. And then if you wanna shift the hand onto the low back, just to make sure your low back doesn't twist, you can do that, but start to roll that right shoulder open. Keep your core somewhat engaged, the torso nice and long. Good. And you don't have to have a big, huge twist here. This can be very subtle. If you want to reach and stretch right arm up and you feel like your hips don't twist too much, you can do that. Take a few more breaths. Awesome. Let's go ahead and bring the right hand down, left hand down. Just pause in the center here for a moment. You can sway or you can be totally still, up to you. Good. Let's come back to center. We'll inhale, lengthen torso. Now we're going to bring the right hand to the floor as our supporting hand. Left thumb, left hip crease, and then inhale, torso gets long and engaged. And then we'll, if you want to, take the hand to the low back, left hand, roll left shoulder open, and then decide what you want to do from here. Okay, you can stay here and just work on the twist without moving the hips too much. You can reach the left arm up. Take some nice deep breaths. Check in with those toes. Awesome. And then release, lower those hands down, fold again. Again, you can sway side to side, bending one knee, bending other knee. You can do whatever you need to do. Awesome. Good. Find center. Let's go ahead and inhale, hands to chest or heart or hips. I'm in hips. Inhale up. I've been upside down too long. Exhale at the top. Good. And then we're going to heel toe in a little bit. Heels in, toes out. Let's come down to Melasana. Bring it on down. Yes. Good. Get into those hips. Now, if you want to take something up underneath your heels, you can do that. Let's just take a few breaths here, in and out of the nose. And then press those elbows into the knees. You want to widen your knees. So I have really super flat feet, so I kind of sink into the middle of my feet a little bit more. So I have to work a little harder to keep my knees nice and wide, torso long. Couple more breaths here. You can come out early if you need to. Good. All right, let's lower down so you can take your hands behind you, and then you're going to bring your feet out nice and wide here and windshield wiper your knees side to side. So flex your feet as you go side to side. Good. And then we're going to come to let those knees go over to the left side. So back a little so you can see me. Right knee down, left knee, and then a little water break. We're going to bring the hands so they're parallel to this left thigh. Take an inhale, lengthen your chest and heart. Exhale, come down onto those forearms. Keep the neck long. So this is a perfect little twist here. You can stay here if you want to, or if you want to just lower left hand down, let your head come down to the left palm and crawl the right arm forward. You could do that. You can also stack your palms and let your forehead rest on both palms here. So again, just ideally finding your shape for your body, the one that's here today. That can be the tricky part. Good. Let's slowly bring those hands back up. We're going to come through to center here. Windshield wiper knees side to side. Bring knees to that right side. Again, same thing we did on the first side. So inhale, chest and heart lifts. And then exhale, come on down into your twist. Whatever works best for you today. You can repeat what you did on first side, or you can do something different if you want to. Okay, so do your best not to be in a place of like forcing at this point. So
we're always taught that, the harder we work, the better, and the more we kind of achieve, the better, which can hold in some circumstances. But in yoga, I find it is different. We're reestablishing that connection with the body to being able to feel the body. It's different. Good. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and slowly come up and out of this. We'll come back to center, windshield wiper. Nice. And then to center again, we're going to stretch out the right leg, bring the left foot in, and we're going to take an inhale, hands beside that right leg, and then exhale, fold. Okay, so you can come here, just bringing those hands down. If you want to interlace hands, grab the foot. If that's available, go for it. If you have a strap or belt or something there at home, you want to loop the foot up, then do that. Just really let those exhales kind of take you into this and a cooling pose, a rest pose. And just scan the hands or the feet, the face, the jaw, anywhere for any kind of like gripping, holding on. Good. And then let's release the foot. Inhale all the way up. Exhale at the top. And then we'll switch out the legs. We'll take that left leg out, bring the right foot in, hands framing the left foot. Inhale, lifting chest and heart. Exhaling to fold. And again, if you want to grab onto that foot, you can. Use a belt, strap, anything else. We'll just hang here for a little bit. And just letting yourself breathe and be. Good. Let's release the foot. Inhale to sit up. Exhale at the top. And then we'll just bring the legs out in front and the knees one by one. And then we're going to take it on back to lie down. So go ahead and come back onto your back. So once you get down there, we're just going to do one bridge pose. I like to do one of these usually per practice. So once you come into this, don't turn your head. So have your feet about hip width, your knees hip width. You're going to bring those hands beside you, press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Clasp your palms if you want to. That's optional, and roll the shoulders under, or you can also grab opposite edges of mat. You can bring the elbows down, bend the elbows, have the hands face towards one another. Just find what works best for you. Again, don't turn the head or the neck. Come to your bridge, just a little compression for the spine. And end of practice thing here. A couple more breaths. Good. And then we're gonna release hands, lower hips down nice and slowly. Good. And then bring your soles of feet together, knees open up, Supta Baddha Konasana, untuck the shoulders, and just let yourself be here on your back and breathe. Good. Nice and slowly, we'll just bring the feet back to the floor. Walk them about 1 footprint in front of those knees. Bring your arms to T or cactus, palms facing open, and then windshield wiper your knees side to side, just like we did a little bit ago, just to unwind, unravel.
Good. And then one more little thing for the last minute. We're going to do a shoulder stand or a supported shoulder stand. I'm going to just do supported. So feet up to the ceiling. Now, if you have a pillow or something you want to pop up under those hips, you can. If you want to take a regular shoulder stand, if that's part of your practice, you could do that. That's another one where you don't want to turn your head or your neck once you get up there. Just about another half a minute with whatever shape you've chosen. Again, inversion, really letting all the blood flow down into the torso. Start to really let those exhales linger on out a little bit more. Good. And now we're going to slowly make our way to Shavasana. So you can bring those knees in, give your knees a nice little hug, a squeeze, any other little movements that you want to make here. Do a little happy baby for a second here, or if you're just ready to stretch it on out and find Shavasana, go for it. Okay, so if you want to move up into a different place, chair, couch, or bed, or grab props to go up underneath your knees, go ahead, do that. But just find a place where you can allow yourself to rest here. Breathe slowly. And then once you've found the position that you have wanted to rest in, that you want to be in, start to again notice first those sitting bones wherever you are, feeling the earth below you, that connection once more of sitting bones. And just like in the beginning of practice, we travel to feet. Notice the support below the feet, feeling around feet. Moving hands, palms. Nice. And then we'll move into just the whole body here, resting on the floor, becoming, or wherever surface you're on, becoming heavier and heavier. Spending a little bit more time with the exhalation. As you feel your body exhale, drift and melt slower and slower into the earth. Just slowly start to scan, starting down at the toes. Toes just completely relax. You know, we don't usually relax our toes. Here's your chance. Coming to soles of the feet, heels, ankles, just letting the feet completely relax. Shin bones nice and heavy, calf muscles relaxing. Fronts of the knees, the backs of the knees, the kneecaps, upper thigh bones. And then the hamstrings, the upper legs just totally relaxing. And the legs nice and heavy. The hips relaxed. Torso nice and heavy. Moving into your belly. Perhaps feeling your belly rising, your belly falling. This nice natural sensation, again, allowing release and receiving as you just notice your breath, knowing that there is nothing magical you have to do in order for this to happen, except for be present in your body, to feel what's happening and to not judge it. Feeling your hands, your palms, letting the hands just relax, any gripping, any holding on. Wrists, forearms, the elbows nice and heavy. The upper arm bones able to just rest, fall into the earth. And as you do that, you may feel a little release in your chest and your heart, a little more space, more opening there. If not, that's fine. The upper back, spreading, releasing the lowering. Back of the neck nice and long. Jaw relaxing. The eyes resting, relaxing. The forehead broadening. Top of the head, all of that warmth now just kind of pooling up there at the top of the head, and then letting the warmth, that healing energy spread over the face, over the body, the hands, the feet, the legs. And again, going back to just feeling the earth below your body, that connection there, that resting there, a true letting go, even if it's just for a millisecond. Take a big inhale in through your nose and a long, slow exhale. And you're welcome to just stay here to rest here on the earth for as long as you need to, long after I stop talking. If you'd like to start wiggling, stretching, moving, you may do that at this time. Eventually start to, if you're choosing to move, bend your knees, bring feet to floor, and roll to your side. And from your side, again, if you're choosing to move, come up to your seat. Closing your eyes once you come back up to your seat. Bringing those hands down on the knees, just like we did in the very beginning of practice. Again, coming back, noticing your sitting bones touching earth, feet touching earth, the hands. Taking just a moment here to observe and to witness perhaps a difference in energy, a shift between when we first sat this way and now. And if you notice no difference at all, know that that is fine. Ready, bring palms together, let thumbs rest right at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take in a big inhale. Long, slow exhale. Jai Bhagwan. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming and practicing today.